Getting you ready for game day. I'm WCCO's Mike Max, ready to tackle everything football, from the Vikings and Gophers' upcoming games to exclusive conversations with players, coaches, and more. Let's go beyond the headlines with stories you won't get anywhere else. WCCO's kickoff countdown starts right now. Oh, what a shock. North Dakota State is undefeated and playing meaningful games, and it looks like they got a chance to win another national championship, and two Minnesota wide receivers are a big reason why. Trey Lance, his brother Bryce Lance, you remember Trey and Bryce obviously having his own standout career, and Rajah Nelson, who we first got to know when he was starring at Lakeville. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
us.
Bryce, start this. What is it like to be a part of Bison Nation with all that's gone on with it and all the winning, and you've been going to games and then participating in games for a long time now in Fargo?
Yeah, it's extremely impactful. Not only, my football career, but, personally as well. I think, there's a really special tradition at NDSU. And I think, it's a really special part of that is, us carrying it on, especially as seniors now. So it's been really cool.
Rajah, what's it like to work side by side with him, with Bryce? I mean, you two have got this duo going, and I mean, the highlights are just off the charts that we see. What's it like for you two to play with each other, and what does that do for each other?
I think it's very electric. I think we go hand in hand with each other. It's scary for defenses to see both of us out there at the same time. And, because that's two players that's very hard to stop. But I think we kind of feed off of each other's plays and energy. We match it, and we know, both of us have each other's back within every game, every situation. And we just lean on each other, to both make plays.
It looks to me like if it's one-on-one coverage for either one of you, they're coming to you. Is that kind of the rule of thumb, man? If you guys are locked in one-on-one, just throw it my way?
Yeah, that's the mentality you got to have as well.
Bryce, I mentioned Trey, obviously, your brother now playing for the Chargers. He's seen it all, too, in his football career. What have you learned from him?
Yeah, everything, honestly. I mean, I remember from a young age, as a little brother, I was just following him around. And obviously, he went to NDSU, so I learned a little bit about the culture and the program from him before I got here. And then, as he's expanded his career, he's always there for me to pick his brain, even though we don't play the same position. Football could be tough at times, mentally and physically. So I'm really, really blessed and thankful to have him for that.
Yeah, and he's seen a lot, but he's learned a lot too. I mean, what a life to live, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's lived a lot of life at a young age. So again, super impactful and a blessing for me to have.
Rajah, talk about the standards you guys set up there. National championships are such a norm, and it's unprecedented what you guys have done in college football. What does that feel like? Is there pressure there? What does that feel like when the expectations are that
high? Pressure kind of comes with that standard, but I feel as if, since we have made that a standard within our program, that you kind of born into it once you join this program. We practice hard day in, day out, so you kind of it gets passed down from the older guys, and you kind of just pick up on it very quick, and that's part of buying in to the program. I know we live by that. And some people might view that as that's just a saying, but that's something that we truly believe. Once you buy into this program, we have a saying, those who stay will be champions. So once you are fully bought in, you will see, you will get the results that you want, but that just comes from the hard work that we put in.
Bryce, what I always hear is it's the understanding that to be a Bison means it's 365, meaning 365 days a year. And the off-season workouts can be as intense as the in-season workouts. Comment on that. What is it that you guys do year-round for each other?
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Polasek, always preaches, you're a Bison everywhere you go, on or off the field. So not only during workouts, but, wherever we are, we're representing ourselves in a first-class manner. But, yeah, we work really hard. We work really, really, really hard, especially in the off-season. Because we know the standard here at NDSU. And like I said before, it's a long tradition, long before us. So it's just our job to carry that on.
For someone that has not been to the Fargo Dome on a Saturday, it's something different. Explain what that's like to take the field on a Saturday, Bryce, at the Fargo Dome when it gets rocking.
Yeah, dude, no other feeling, honestly. It's really special. It's crazy that I only have so many more games in the Fargo Dome. But really, like I said, there's nothing like it, And I think, our fans are one of the most loyal fan bases in the country. No matter the division, no matter the level. So they make it really special for us. We know that's just it's our job as a team to put on a show for them.
Raja, you take this first. Bryce, you finish up. What would it mean for you two to go out champions again, given what you've done together in this program? You start it, Raja.
Honestly, that'd be one of the best feelings in the world. Knowing that, ending your career here at NDSU, you get to say that, you were a champion. And, on top of that, it's just, again, this goes back to all the hard work that we put in, and that starts in the off season, really winter camp, spring ball, all of that, like summer, just we put so much work in that for us to end it the way how we want it, and with it being our goal, it'd be, electrifying and be a feeling like no other, and just knowing that all that hard work paid off.
Bryce?
Yeah, just to go along with that, I think Raj said most of it, but just especially finishing it with my guys. Raj especially, Raj has been playing since he was a true freshman at a high level at NDSU, which is a really, really testament to, his ability and his knowledge of the game as well. So I've looked up to Raja for a long time, and finishing it out with my brothers, my other seniors, it would mean the world.
But you two are kind of linked, aren't you? The Minnesota duo that not that North Dakota State hasn't had great players before, but to see you two lined up together, and it's kind of a source of pride for Minnesota. That's got to mean something to you that you two have kind of done this together.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Both from Minnesota. He was a higher class than me in high school, so I didn't get a chance to play him.
But if you would have.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, always got to represent the home state for sure.
Yeah, same for you, Raja. Of course, you come from a pretty good program in high school, just like Bryce does.
Yep, exactly. And that it's just, tradition. And that just kind of goes into, being at NDSU. And I feel like that's part of the reason why it was so easy to, buy in. And again, like going back to what you said, like just two Minnesota guys, coming to live out their dream and, make plays, put on for the program, and, for back home, like it means a lot to us.
That's your kickoff countdown for the week. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow, rate, and share. Join us every Friday wherever you get your podcast to discover what's at stake on game day, from the Vikings to the Gophers and beyond. And make sure to watch the live kickoff countdown Thursday nights at 10:15 on WCCO.